Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So today I wanted to talk about something that I mentioned on my live stream last night. If you haven't seen that yet, for all of those who haven't seen it yet, go check out my live stream from last night, October 17th. Saturday, October 17th, around 6-7 p.m. I had a live. And I ended up mentioning SARS, and it's because I had meant to do a video on how I felt about the situation, and so here it is now. So what is SARS? First of all, for those of you who don't know anything about it, SARS was first formed in 1992 to target violent crime in the Nigerian capital of Lagos. It operated anonymously with its 15-member team patrolling the streets in plainclothes and traveling in unmarked buses. That is what is listed here online. It says this past weekend, the Nigerian, and this is the weekend of the 11th, the Nigerian government confirmed that the country's police unit, Special Anti-Robbery Squad, was disbanded. The unit is synonymous in the country with police brutality, and its abolition was the focus of a number of protests in recent weeks. Prominent Nigerian musicians, including Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Davido, have spoken out in support of the protesters in Nigerian cities, including Lagos and Abuja, plus cities from the Nigerian diaspora, including Atlanta, Berlin, New York, and London. Now, it says, why are people protesting? And okay, the protest began last week following reports that a young man in the Delta state of southern Nigeria was killed during a stop and search operation. Police in Nigeria denied SARS involvement in the man's death. Police harassment and abuse are often cited as a problem by young people in Nigeria, with many claiming that SARS units' crime-fighting tactics have warped into criminal behavior of their own. The New York Times suggests the SARS critics believe its faceless nature opened the door to abuse, making it difficult to identify and report rogue officers and emboldening them to act with impunity. In June, Amnesty International documented at least 82 alleged cases of torture, ill treatment, and extrajudicial execution by SARS between January 2017 and May of 2020. Okay, so to my understanding, I want to also add that I haven't been able to find it online as of yet, but there is something called the Yahoo Boys, and I'm going to find a couple documentaries concerning that and link it in the description box below, so you guys can go take a look at that so you can understand more about this. But it was my understanding at some point SARS was created, if not created just for that. What Yahoo Boys are people, Nigerians who at one point were going online and they were sending out fake emails. The Nigerian scammers. Okay, so in America, they're known as Nigerian scammers. And in Nigeria or Africa, they're known as Yahoo Boys. So the Yahoo Boys would go online and they would try to scam you. They didn't care who they were scamming. But it morphed into something else. At some point, more Europeans, and I want to say, Europeans from America, Australia was really hard hit, to my understanding, and the UK, England, places like that. But European women especially were getting scammed by these Yahoo Boys. Now, I'm not sure if the timeline coincides, but if any of my African sisters from the continent could, shed some light on that, that would be great, because I don't know. I didn't follow the story the whole time. But I do know that SARS at one point was, cracking down on the Yahoo Boys, aka Nigerian scammers, who would send out these letters trying to bait you to send them money. Okay, a lot of people's hearts were broken, a lot of money was taken, and this was an internet crime. nameless, faceless crimes were going on, and it was really hard for them to catch these people. There was nothing they could do. So who is it? What I want to know, what Europeans paid these people to start killing their own people? Because I'm telling you, it started, to my understanding, getting like where they, I don't know, were really, I'm trying to think of how to say it. They became really vicious during the time when they started making these raids on the Yahoo boys. And the Yahoo boys would have, you know, rented out warehouses or different buildings in Nigeria, and they would have an entire business going on sometimes. And sometimes it would just be two guys in a house somewhere, but they would have nice cars, they would have all kinds of stuff. So they started to crack down on this. I know a lady, and I do know it got really bad, because there was a woman in one documentary, and like she would send this man money, and then, you know, and it went on for a while, but then finally she came to Africa. She rented a place, or either purchased a place for the two of them to live in. And the next thing you know, she was found dead in that house. Her family, you know, was heartbroken, and I believe they got really serious after this particular incident. And so what I'm going to do, and it's weird because I didn't have a lot of, you know, interest in my homeland before, but I'm very interested in documentaries. So I know about this situation that happened back in, I don't know, maybe the 90s. Yeah, I would say to between the early and late 90s and the early 2000s, this was going on a lot more. I think they're still doing it, but it's not as prevalent because of SARS. SARS is really ruthless. And I just believe that they gave them this power, okay? I want to make that clear. I don't know who's paying them or who started paying them, but it has to be Europeans. No African leader would have, I don't believe, just created this group for no reason. So somebody got paid, and then they started cracking down and torturing, whatever they're doing to these people, killing them on sight who were doing the scams. And then next thing you know, it has morphed into something else. So what I want to say on that is this: when you give human beings this type of power and control, a lot of times it gets out of hand. You can look at the police in America. Police in America, they have this thing with them. There was a gentleman murdered recently, and I have a video on that. But I firmly believe that a lot of times, including this time, if you hurt the pride of a cop by walking away from them, if you hurt the pride of a cop by talking back to them, they have something else going on in their mind. Like, you can't talk back to them. You can't say certain things to them. You can't stand up for yourself. And you darn sure better not walk away from them. They'll shoot you in your back, shoot you right in your head, kill you. And I saw it when I was a little girl. When I was a child, a boy I went to school with, he stole a car. Boys steal cars. My brother stole my father's car, and praise the Most High, he was not shot in the back of his head or in his back. Boys do things. So my brother got through that, you know. But this boy, he was about 14 or 15. He stole a car. He gets out of the car. The police are chasing him. He stops the car, gets out of the car with his hands up, and he proceeds to run. And they shoot this boy in his back. You can't tell me an excuse why you shot a teenager in his back because he ran instead of stopping to be arrested. It's not an excuse. It's unheard of, but it happens. And so I've never trusted the police since I was a kid because I saw things. And that's not all I saw, but I saw things. In America, a white kid can run away. White people can fight with the police. You know, very rarely will you see a white person get beat down by the police, but they'll do it. They will do it now and then. But it's just something about black people, you can expect to get shot if you give them a hassle. You know, sometimes people, you get a cop that's just, you know, doing his job. But my point here, so I won't get too far off topic, is when you give the wrong type of power, authority, and control to human beings, look what happens. I believe that SARS had one mission from the Europeans, who pay either the president of Nigeria, or pay somebody in that government, or pay the police themselves. They had a mission. They really wanted to stop these Yahoo boys, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I believe that the power and control that was given to them has been taken out of hand, because it's happened here in America. Police here are so bold now. And like I said, it's gotten to a point that it spills over from just being black people to being white people too. Sometimes white people will get beat down because they have this thing like, you can't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. I'm the police. And that's not what it's about. You're supposed to be protecting us. So what do you mean don't disrespect to you? Don't talk back to you. Don't walk away from you. It is not an excuse. A drunk man, Rashad, I don't know his last name, but I'll put a link to his story in the description. A drunk man runs from the cops and he gets shot. He didn't have a gun or anything. He gets shot for running from the police. He's running and can barely run because he's drunk, right? He was lying. He was drunk, right? But why does he get shot? Because he ran from... Let me tell you something. If he ran, if he got in his car and drove away, whatever the case may be, you can catch the guy. Let him go home. Let him get home. Let him run home. Let him drive home. Let me tell you something. You know this man's address. You have his license plate. You've talked to him long enough. He's not going to get very far. He's not going to go very far. First of all, he's drunk. And people do stupid things when they're drunk. So I just want to say, this thing with SARS, this is wrong. You know, we are sitting here, Black Lives Matter situation, this movement over here, which I hate quoting that. And we're fighting for injustice that's done to us by another race. And you guys are committing African on African crime. African lives matter, man. What are we doing here? How have we let Europeans convince us that we don't matter even to each other? We are all we have. I don't know what your problems are, but I'm telling you something. This is why I've said time and time again, the Most High Yah, our Most High God, as you a lot of us call him, he didn't create us to shoot people. And eventually, you're going to lose it up here. And that's what's happening to people. Seriously. You're really out of your mind if you're to a point where you're killing your own people. And you're doing it for no reason. They don't have to do anything to deserve it. And they're just getting murdered every day. Enough is enough, man. End SARS now. Mind you, Africans from the diaspora all over the world, we're trying to come home, and you're making a mockery of the motherland, acting a fool like this. No amount of money is worth you killing your own people. We have to stop being bribed, man. Stop letting people bribe you and pay you to do sick things. This goes for all leaders in the world. If you have from leadership as a police officer all the way up to the president, we have to stop being bribed to hurt our own people. 400 years of slavery. And we still, look where we are. Look where we are. Look at Africa. We have to cut it out, man. Those people, I mean, we have a whole war to fight on this earth, and you're using your pistols and your authority to shoot other Africans in your own country for fun. Wake up. Wake up, because let me tell you something, you can carry a gun all you want to. When Europeans are finished with you, when they're done using you, they're going to kill you too. That's the way it goes with those folks. So you might as well get on your own team and fight this battle with us and not against us. We are all one. African lives matter. Africans all over the world, our lives matter. And I I ask all of my people in America and all over the world from the diaspora to speak up for Africans, because you know what? During this Black Lives Matter thing, during George Floyd and Trayvon Martin, all of this stuff, Africans have been speaking up for us. Our brothers on the continent and our sisters have been speaking up for us. And so we need to open our mouths and speak up for them as well. We are one, whether we like it or not. It's time for us to get our act together, and we need to be one, seriously. And we need to let people know that we love each other and we're standing together. Thank you for listening. Y'all be blessed.